And now, once again, from our BioLife Plasma Services family interview area, here is Joni Smith.
Well, thank you guys very much. Felicity is with me and Tannek is with me. Hi, family. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you guys, too.
So, Felicity, a few minutes ago, you were upstairs at the eye doctor appointment.
Yes, I was.
And what did you say to them?
I have to get going because I have to get down to Radiothon.
And since you're in the same building and every department works so well together, they said, come back when you're done? Is that what they said? Excellent.
Yes.
Boy, it's amazing how flexibility can happen.
Yes.
And when you need it. Right now we have the NICU, PICU staff answering the phones on our phone bank. Hello, ladies. Number one, thank you for spending some time with us today, and thank you for doing what you do every day. It's very important. It's very important, and you all took care of Tannek, and he's here with us today. There's a bunch of super duper superheroes back there that care about you and care for kids every day. And thanks for taking your time today to run down here and talk with us.
Oh, no problem.
So, Tannek is 3 years old.
Yes.
He was 3 in September.
Yes.
Let's go back to day one.
That was a very hard day.
What happened?
Well, my water broke, and we get in here, and they end up having to try to stop my labor because the surgeon for Tannek wasn't going to be here. And then a long ways down the road that night, in the middle of the night, they ended up having to have an emergency, not emergency section, ended up having him by emergency C-section, and he went down to the NICU, and I got to see him about 5-ish hours after he was born, and he had his first surgery. He got the what they call a silo to hold all of his intestines and whatnot that was sticking out. They had all that all set, so when I seen him for the first time, it was still kind of scary just because that's not how you picture seeing your baby for the first time, but I think with all the staff around and everything, it just kind of made it like you knew that your baby was in good hands, and it kind of took the scare away a little bit, I think.
How about your family?
Oh, I have a pretty great family. They were all here for support, and even when we went home, they were all there for support, and still to this day.
That's a word that we have been using a lot this morning is support.
Yep.
And, we toss that word around, and what we're really saying is the people that help us out with Children's Miracle Network hospitals and making their pledges and calling in, they take care of an abundance of things that happen in your life that you need help with.
Yeah.
What did you need help with? How did they help you?
They helped us with, let's say, food vouchers while we were in the hospital, gas cards to get to Sparta and back to La Crosse on a weekly basis so we could get home to see our other kids because we did stay up here the entire time that Tannek was in the hospital. They helped us when we got home. We were pretty significantly behind on our electric bill. They helped us get caught back up on that. They helped us even when we were home to make sure we could get back up here for appointments. Tannek got put on a really, really expensive formula, and Children's Miracle Network paid for it for an entire year for him to be on it.
These are things that are the difference between being able to make it from month to month to really being able to make it.
Yes.
And to give you just a little bit more comfort to be able to sleep at night because you
Yes.
have so much going on in your household to begin with.
Oh, yes.
And making the pledge and the gift just goes in so many different ways. It's 781-1477. That's the phone number to call. The phone bank is sponsored by the Blood Center of Wisconsin. And tomorrow, Aloya will be with us.
Yep.
On Friday, Aloya is coming. And Aloya is the big sister.
Yep.
And you were telling me about how Tannek and Aloya, how they're changing as far as their growth patterns. What's happening?
So with gastrostesis, there's statistics that they would just naturally be smaller children as they get older. Well, Tannek has totally bypassed that. He is a monster. And then we've got Eloya that is 1.5 years older than him. And she is 1 inch shorter than him. And he weighs about 7 to 8 pounds more than her. And she's just like, his head circumference is like double hers. She's just this tiny little thing that everyone, if you didn't see her facial expressions, you would think she was 2 because she's just so tiny.
What are the chances of this conditioning happening so often?
So the statistics that we got was 1 in 5,000 babies are gastroschisis baby, and it's like 1 in a trillion for one mom to have 2 gastro babies.
When you heard that statistic, what did you do with it? How did you feel?
I think I was mad and then frustrated at first because like why do I have to have 2? But then like when I sat back and I realized God only gives you what you can handle, and He must
say
have thought,
say that one more time.
God only gives you what you could handle. And He must have thought like I was Superwoman or something. But He must have been right, because I got through it and they're awesome today.
I think maybe you are Superwoman. I think you are.
I tried.
I know you do. I know, and you try really hard too. So the gifts that you were given got you through some really, really tough times.
Very tough times.
And there's other families that need help too. So if you're formulating an idea, should I call and make a pledge? What would you say to that person?
I would say yes, call and make a pledge, because even if you can only donate $1 or $10 or just the change in your center council, every single penny makes a difference. And I wouldn't have realized that until I got put in the situation that I got put into, where I needed Children's Miracle Network. But it really does help, and it really does make a difference.
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to throw a little bit of a challenge out there. You ready for that?
Yes.
You up for a challenge?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask people to make 5 calls, 5 pledges while we're having a conversation.
Okay.
So the first thing you do is pick up the phone and you call 781-1477 or 1-800-853-6889. And what we'll do is we'll be so happy with our volunteers here. And everybody wore the same colors from the NICU PICU. And wouldn't you know, Tannek had the same color on
Yep.
today. I don't know. What does the back of your T-shirt say? What does it say? No baby too small for the hands of the NICU staff. Excellent.
That is the coolest shirt ever.
That is the coolest shirt ever. Nice job with that. And they brought their passion along with them, too. So they're
yes.
ready right now to take care of the challenges that are ahead. And right now our challenge is to make the phone ring at 781-1477, 1-800-853-6889. So what's next for Tannek? Oh, first of all, Tannek had a little bit of a spill this summer.
He did.
So he had a little bit of a bump in the road.
He ended up breaking his leg and had to have a full cast on, all the way up to his growing, from his toes to his growing. And he had to have that on for, give or take, 2 months.
You know, we have a real close friend who has had some recent surgery done on her heel. And it's been a real issue for her to jump in the shower and take care of those things. How do you take care of a 3-year-old with a broken leg that has a cast that goes way up to here? How did you do that?
So first of all, I thought I was going to, be miserable the whole time, just because Tannek loves the bath. He takes a bath almost every night. This kid lives in the bathtub. So when he broke his leg, I didn't think about anything else but how am I going to do bath time? Because he has to have bath regardless. So we ended up working out this pretty cool system where he took it in our sink and we wrapped it in paper bags and then towels, and then ended up putting a towel underneath him so he could recline. And he ended up loving it.
Well,
It
it
was
really
different.
takes some ingenuity, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you know, some of the moms and dads that we've talked to this morning, just getting up and doing a morning routine takes an amazing amount of energy, planning. I mean, when they're on the special formulas like you were speaking
Yep.
of, or they're on a very special diet where they can't have certain things, you have to pre-plan, don't you?
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to know
Yep.
what's in your refrigerator. You have to know. Now, what about medications?
He's no longer on any medications. He does take Miralax. He used to have to take it daily because he couldn't make a stool on his own, and everything would just kind of hold. But over the last, I'd say 6 or 7 months, he's kind of come to doing it on his own, and I think we have to use it maybe once a week. And it's usually if he eats a lot of bread or pasta or potatoes. Those are really hard on him.
You know, and those are some of the easy things to have
They
around the
are.
house. I know, they are. And so we have to be, even more conscious about that
Yep.
thing. So 781-1477, we need this phone to ring, and we need it to ring now, don't we?
Yes.
1-800-853-6889. Do you know right this very minute, there's 22 sick babies upstairs?
Oh my gosh, that breaks my heart.
When we came here this morning, and there was cars parked in the parking lot. You don't expect to see that at 5 o'clock in the morning, but as we were parking, there's a lot of people that are affected every single day that are here in this hospital, and they don't get to go home. They're staying here, and their families are staying here with them. Well, can you even think about how many nights that you spent in the hospital with your children?
I normally don't like to think about it because it's a lot. It was a lot. And like you said, when you come here at 5 o'clock in the morning, you would never expect to see a parking lot full of people. Like myself and Scott, we both in the middle of the nights or even in the mornings when we were here and we'd go out to take a breather or whatever, when the kids were in the hospital sick, we didn't even think about it. Like, wow, there's still a lot of people here. Like, ramps are still full, and the hallways still have people going through them at all hours of the night. You just don't realize how many people can get affected by anything at any time.
Well, we're going to dig our heels in. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And we are going to request the phones to start ringing. It's 781-1477. Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. What happens is the money that's donated stays here locally. And I'm looking at a local family right now that was able to take that as a gift and make ends meet. I bet you were worried when you were behind on your electric bill.
Oh,
what does that do? How does this stress in a family? Not only do you have sick babies, you have that to be worried about.
Well, it was definitely very stressful because on top of Tannek, we have 3 other children. And, they all have their own needs. And, so you kind of need electricity to get through every day. So it definitely was a huge relief when they were able to be there to help us even catch up on that.
So 781-1477 is the phone number. And what we're going to do is we're not going to give up. We're going to let you go up to your eye doctor appointment. Okay, we're going to let you finish your appointment. I think ophthalmology would probably be happier with us if we let you go back and complete that. We can't thank you enough for coming down and sharing your story with us. And we're going to see you tomorrow. You'll be back with Aloya tomorrow?
I'll be back here at another 11:20.
Good job. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I just feel like now we know more about your family, and that's really important. You're listening to the Children's Miracle Network Radiothon, a service of the La Crosse Radio Group.